All right, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? This is Pastor D, your favorite YouTube pastor. I'm back in the house one more time. So we still talking on those subscriber questions. I think we're getting close down to the end. So, Mark, Swin Images, hit me with one.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with one, and this is a Swinton Images question. And this is coming totally just off the top of my head, and I've heard this all my life growing up in the church. Oh, him wade in the water. Um, so explain that to some of the people. It's probably like myself as a young adolescent wasn't paying attention in church. Explain that and how that connects with history and biblical.
So we know that the slaves were brought over here from Africa, and the biggest issue or the traumatic experience for them was crossing the water, because many of them were chained to their friends who did not make it to this side of the land, and we know that a lot of people and a lot of our African ancestors, a lot of them jumped overboard and they jumped into the water. But not only did they jump in the water, but we know that the sharks followed all of the ships because there were so many bodies being thrown overboard, people jumping overboard, not wanting to experience the um, the enslavement, not knowing what's going on. So that was a big traumatic experience. So as that particular hymn got into the minds and in the hearts of the people, when it says that God's gonna trouble the water, God's gonna move that water out the way, which was a burden. It created a burden for the people. So God's going to trouble the water. God's going to fix this situation. God's going to fix everything that's going on. And guess what? And then at the end of the day, God is going to be praised. Um, so that's where that aspect comes into play. So the history, the biblical, it's one of those things that just reminds us of our history and reminds us of God, because God is still in complete control. Always remember that God is in complete control. It wasn't by divine. It wasn't an accident that we were brought here. Actually, it was a true blessing that we were brought here. Even though our ancestors went through a lot, guess what? We are still here. We're still strong and we're still mighty. And the gates of hell cannot prevail against that which God has predestined to be perfect. So that's where that ends. That's that, Pastor D.
Swinton Images Media Group.